Hello, you're watching UZREPORT World News. I am Davron Azizov, and here are top headlines for today. President Shavkat Mirziyoyev inspects projects to be implemented under the digital city concept. Gender equality on agenda of a forum held in Tashkent. What are the facts behind the coronavirus in Uzbekistan? The share of digital economy in today's world economy is estimated at 15.5%. Over the past 15 years, the digital economy has been growing 2.5 times faster than GDP. With this in mind, the Uzbek government has decided to work out the strategy Digital Uzbekistan 2030. On Tuesday, President Shavkat Mirziyoyev inspected projects to be implemented in this area.
What is a digital city? Digital city can be defined as a transformation of cities and urban areas through the use of modern technologies to provide novel and interactive city-wide services. Digital cities are emerging throughout the world, and despite the common terminology, they have different purposes depending on their social context. Some examples of digital cities initiatives are, for instance, Seattle, Kyoto, and Amsterdam. Actually, the term digital city was first used in 1994 in the Amsterdam project. To keep up with the world, Uzbekistan over the next years plans to apply the digital city concept in its capital, Tashkent. Once the test of the system will be successful, the concept will be implemented in other regions of the country. President Shavkat Mirziyoyev was briefed about innovative information systems such as passport of medical institutions, UZTrans, tourist registration service, Mehmon. All of them have already created a wide range of facilities for residents and guests of our country. Mirziyoyev gave instructions to implement new concepts as distance education, a single electronic ticket for public transport, construction supervision, and an electronic medical card. The implementation of an electronic medical card in particular would allow doctors to significantly save time when processing papers and thereby expand their ability to work with the patient. 15 specialized medical centers, 11 associations and 62 polyclinics in Tashkent will be connected to the information systems Unified Electronic Medical Card and Electronic Polyclinic. Similar systems will be set up in other areas and industries. Another project being implemented in this direction is 1 million programmers. Its goal is to develop skills that are in demand in the digital age. Even though more than 600 healthcare institutions and schools in Tashkent today enjoy high-speed internet access, according to Mirziyoyev, work in this direction is still lagging behind. The president urged entrepreneurs to participate in the transformation of the capital on the basis of public-private partnership.
Gender equality has come a long way since the early days of women's suffrage. Not only do women now have the rights to vote, but they hold positions of power and influence in all domains. In Uzbekistan, a forum was held to support women's rights and interests, as many women to this day are still unaware of their rights.
Because 1 in 3 women in Uzbekistan are victims of oppression and violence, a law was established to protect them. There are currently 197 functioning rehabilitation centers, where medical and psychological assistance is provided. Women who need help can go to these facilities or approach law enforcement officials. The MDA system has 50 psychologists and more than 300 inspectors working to help women in need. Despite this support system, women still do not know their rights. To rectify the situation, a forum was organized to educate them on their rights and where to seek help.
The main Directorate for the Prevention of Crimes of the Ministry of Internal Affairs, together with the authorized ministries and departments, is holding a forum to improve the legal culture of women. At this forum, special attention is paid to raising their rights and socio-economic activity, as well as the prevention of crimes and offenses among women. Local inspectors work with socially vulnerable people, as well as those subjected to various types of violence. In particular, assistance is provided in their employment and in providing them with the necessary medical care.
The forum program included also presentations and speeches from representatives of the Ministry of Internal Affairs and various international organizations.
With the support of the European Union, a new project building the capacity of industry associations serving engineering companies in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan was opened in the capital. The event was attended by all stakeholders of the project, including the target audience. This includes representatives of small and medium-sized businesses, NGOs, civil engineers, representatives of construction and architectural design institutes, municipal and state organizations, as well as partner organizations from Kazakhstan and Latvia. My colleague has more.
The project will be implemented until April 2023 with partners from 3 countries: Latvia, Uzbekistan, and Kazakhstan. The leading partner in this project is Clean Tech Latvia, the partner from Uzbekistan, UZACE, and the partner from Kazakhstan, Kazakhstan Su Arnasi. The new project is aimed at increasing the capacity and competitiveness of industry associations, improving their services to engineering companies in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, and supporting the development of small and medium-sized private businesses. The project also provides support for the implementation of a system of certification of engineers and requirements for the quality of engineering work.
The certification system is aimed at determining and approving the professional qualifications of the people who carry out a particular activity.
As part of the project, a number of events are planned. These include tours to Latvia to exchange European experience with representatives of associations in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, and the development of a program of training courses and certification to improve competitiveness, including small and medium-sized enterprises, conducting pilot training and certification programs for representatives from Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, as well as evaluating the results of pilot projects, adjusting training programs, and implementing a certification system on a regular basis offered by industry associations.
The U.S. Secretary of Defense, Mark Esper, has decided to postpone his upcoming trip to Uzbekistan, India and Pakistan, originally scheduled to take place later this month. Out of an abundance of caution, the Secretary of Defense has decided to postpone his travel, a department spokesperson said on Tuesday, adding that the trip would occur at a later date. The ambassador of Uzbekistan to the United States, Javlon Vahobov, met with the United States ambassador at large for international religious freedom, Sam Brownback. The American representative applauded Uzbekistan's efforts aimed at improving and liberalizing national legislation regarding religious freedom by providing opportunities for all faiths to freely carry out religious activities. The Uzbek government is committed to ensuring the unhindered worship of all beliefs.
The two parties also discussed further measures needed to improve the legal and institutional structure for the regulation of activities of religious organizations. The new law on freedom of conscience and religious organizations was also a topic of conversation at the meeting. The plans for a series of international conferences, roundtables and expert meetings in collaboration with the OSCE Office for Democratic Institutions and Human Rights, the Office of the UN Special Rapporteur on Religious Freedom, the Helsinki Commission, the US Commission on International Religious Freedom and others were noted. Sam Brownback saluted the comprehensive involvement of international experts in the drafting this law and hopes for an early adoption of the law that meets international standards. The representative of the State Department expressed his readiness to host delegations from Uzbekistan in the USA in order to exchange experiences in ensuring religious freedoms and best practices related to this issue. He also conveyed a keenness to send leading American experts to Tashkent to partake in topical seminars and conferences this fall. The Uzbek delegation was invited to participate in the next ministerial conference on religious freedoms, which will be held in Poland on July 14-26, 2020. The foreign minister of Uzbekistan had previously attended the ministerial conference in 2018 and 2019, respectively.
The rumor mill has been working overtime on social networks with the reports that there is coronavirus in Uzbekistan and even deaths. Is there any truth to these rumors, and what are the facts behind the coronavirus situation in Uzbekistan? A press conference with the Ministry of Health and various international experts helped to dispel any myths and established the verified facts around the virus.
According to recent reports, as of March 11th, the number of people infected with coronavirus worldwide has reached 119,375 people, with 4,300 deaths recorded. More than 80,700 of the total number of cases are located in mainland China. According to WHO, more than 94% of those infected, that is over 66,000 people, have recovered. Coronavirus infections have been reported in 119 countries.
Речь идет о занозной инфекции.
We are talking about a zoonotic infection. What is a zoonosis? It is not our disease. It is a bad disease. When the virus enters our body, it looks at the person and says, "Oh, this is the wrong cell, the wrong enzymes, the wrong adaptation mechanism." The virus takes a crowbar and with this crowbar begins to crush the cell. What is its goal? To create something on his own kind. Infecting the other person, the virus becomes more adapted. But at a certain stage, the virus stops killing his master.
What is the coronavirus situation in Uzbekistan? What preventive measures are being taken against the virus? Minister of Health Alisher Shadmanov relayed the following in his speech.
We have a special staff that monitors and analyzes the situation in all countries, especially in neighboring countries. Since there are no reported cases of coronavirus in Kazakhstan, we have no reasons to close the Uzbek-Kazakh border.
Currently, Uzbekistan has 53 state quarantine centers established at all entry points. There are roughly 250 qualified personnel stationed in these centers for disease control and prevention, and all actions and protocols are based on standards and recommendations developed by WHO.
Respected representatives of arts and culture, filmmakers and historians of Uzbekistan congregated at the Ministry of Culture of Uzbekistan for an in-depth discussion of the historical era of the powerful Khwarezm Empire with a focus on its last ruler, Jalaluddin Manguberdi. This period of Uzbek history was rich in not only in exciting events, but also for notable figures, the most memorable of being the talented commander Jalaluddin Manguberdi. Soon, a famous Turkish director will turn this ruler's life into a television series documenting his short yet eventful career.
He lived a short life. He was 31 when he died. He fought against the Mongol Tatar invasion, led by Genghis Khan and his children and closest associates. And here are the results of this struggle. They will be reflected in this film, I hope. And our task is to show all the elements and events historically reliably.
A seminar dedicated to the first Republican Mixed Martial Arts Championship was held in Tashkent. The event saw representatives of the Central Asian MMA Confederation, the International Federation of MMA, and the MMA Association of Uzbekistan. The event was conducted by the Technical Secretary of the Judges of the MMA Association of the Russian Federation.
The purpose of the event is to hold mixed arts tournaments at a high level and to improve the knowledge and skills of judges. We have extensive experience in conducting both competitions and preparing documentation. These moments are very useful for you. This way you can develop this sport in your own country, based on the experience of our mistakes. The seminar saw experienced MMA judges who came from different regions of the Republic. Uzbekistan is hosting its first MMA seminar. Maxim Protasov, a member of the judging panel, has arrived on this occasion specially from Moscow. From March 12 to 15, the first mixed martial arts competition will be held at the Yunusobod tennis court. We have invited 55 judges from other regions. At the end of the two-day seminar, these judges will receive certificates. Uzbekistan's MMA championship will kick off at the Tashkent Universal Sports Palace on March 12.
European stocks rose early Wednesday, with the Bank of England likely to take the credit. It cut rates by 0.5 percentage point early in the morning in a bid to soften the economic impact of the coronavirus outbreak. It's the first time the central bank has made an emergency policy change since the global financial crisis in 2008. And it's fueled bets that the European Central Bank will cut rates too when it holds a policy meeting Thursday. European indexes all rose as a result. The regional Stoxx 600 was up close to 2% in the first hour of trade before easing back. Bank stocks were among the big gainers, with Lloyd's up over 3% and France's Société Générale up over 5%. Though coronavirus concerns weren't hard to find. Shares in Adidas fell 4% after it warned that first quarter sales in China could drop by over $1 billion. Pessimism too in Asia. Stocks there had initially rallied on hopes of US stimulus measures. But they then fell back as Washington failed to announce any concrete steps. Benchmark indexes in Japan and South Korea were worst hit, both closing down by over 2%. Oil too was on the defensive. That after Saudi Arabia said Wednesday it would raise production capacity for the first time in a decade. After a falling out with Russia, it's begun a battle for market share that has hammered prices. Brent crude was down over 2% in early European trade.
That was our last report for today. Thank you for watching UZREPORT World News. Have a nice day. Goodbye.